It's the FDA's tendency to utilize drug warnings or strengthening warnings rather than removing a drug from the market. What this does is it allows the drug to remain on the market for further sales rather than to remove it when there's a very definite risk, and the balancing of whether or not the benefit of the drug outweighs the risk is actually being ignored by the FDA. A good example of this is the drug Cylert. Cylert was a drug used to treat mostly children and adolescents with ADHD, attention deficit hyperactivity disorder. So this is not a life-threatening type condition. And before the drug was even marketed, the FDA knew that there was a risk of liver damage from the drug. Yet, when the drug entered the market, it did not have a warning of that. Years later, there was a study that was published in 1995 that showed a 45-fold increase in the risk of damaging the liver. Rather than removing the drug from the market, the FDA ordered strengthening of the warnings instead. 2 years later, Great Britain removed the drug from their market, and in 1999, Canada removed Cylert from their market, but in the US, it continued to be sold. In July 2002, there was a study done actually by the FDA itself where they verified that the increased warnings were not working. Doctors were giving it the same way as they always had. And it was not until 3 years later that the drug was eventually removed from the market, then voluntarily rather than by an order by the FDA. And then about 5 months later, the FDA rubber stamped the decision by the manufacturer and removed the drug at that time. This is a classic example of how the FDA utilizes increasing warnings versus removing a drug from the market, which allows the drug companies to continue selling the product.